For this demo, we'll use a sample master software as a service subscription agreement. So basically an agreement for cloud-based delivery of software and related services. The basic use case here is that our client is a customer and has been presented with this agreement by the vendor. And so the task is to review the agreement, identify any problematic language, and revise it to make it a red line version that we can then send back to the client. We get the agreement from the client, run it through the Foley Equipped system. That takes about 5 or 10 minutes. Then we can open it up in Word after it's been analyzed. And this is basically the view that we get. There's a Thought River add-in that integrates into Word. And when we open the Word document and launch the Thought River add-in, we get this panel over here on the right-hand side. So this is where all the Foley Equipped content and analysis resides in the Word version. While there's a number of features that Foley Equipped has, I'm going to be focusing really on the 3 main features. Those 3 being: 1, it provides an issues list for the important issues in this case, a technology agreement. Number 2, it provides playbook advice and commentary describing the various issues and negotiating strategies. And then 3rd, it provides sample contract language, basically clauses from our clause bank of preferred contract language. So starting with the issues list here, we see that I'm scrolling through now down the right-hand side. This is a list of 40 issues that we have trained the system to identify. You can see this 0 through 40. That means 0 have been resolved because we just started on the document. And as we scroll down, you can see the issues that it identifies. And all of this is customizable. The issues are customizable, the content for the playbook advice, and also the contract language, all can be customized for our client's requirements. So as we scroll through the issues list, we see the various issues like data privacy, fees and pricing, limitations of liability, indemnification, etc., all the usual suspects. Then we get to some medium level risks, and I'll talk in a minute about the different risks. Things like testing and acceptance. Then we scroll through and get to the low risk items all the way down to force majeure. So let's go back up to the top and we'll look at some of these issues in a little more detail. So if we look, for example, if we wanted to see what the agreement says about indemnification, I go to the issue on the issues list, and here we see it says indemnification addressed. Then when I click on this, you'll see a couple of things happen. So I click over here in the Word document, the system took us directly to section 13 entitled indemnification, so we know we're on the right track. Over here, the panel view changed from the complete issues list to information just about indemnification. So from this panel, we see that it's ranked as a high importance issue. Now the ranking is set at the system or default level, so when it comes out of the Foley Equipped system, indemnification is ranked as a high issue. That can be changed at the system level so that every time an agreement was analyzed, it came out as a medium issue or a low issue. But if you keep it at a high for the system issue, for the system level issue, then we can change it on a contract level basis. So let's say for this particular contract, in the context of this transaction, the issue really was not a high issue, high importance, but we felt it was a medium issue. So we can change that to medium, and it'll be changed to the Foley Equipped system going forward. This area right here indicates the status of the issue. It's open. We'll keep that open for now because we're still reviewing the issue. We haven't closed it or checked it off of our issues list yet. If we go down here to the section entitled linked clauses, if I click here, it shows the different sections where the Foley Equipped found indemnification language. And as you can see, as I click through, it advances over here in the Word document to the different sections dealing with indemnification. So the system found section 13 dealing with indemnification, but the other useful feature, if you can see these sections are all in the indemnification section, but then there's one at the end here, paragraph 157, that if we click on that, it goes down to section 16, which deals, it's under the heading of taxes, but it's because there is indemnification language within this section. So it not only finds the easy to find sections based on headings, but it's based on the language. So wherever in the document it deals with a particular issue, you'll be able to see that language, in this case, indemnification. So let's go back up here to the indemnification section. Next, I'd like to show you in this box here, it's entitled Description, and this is our playbook, advice, and commentary. So in this section, you can put information about the issue, background. It can be explanatory. It can contain negotiating strategies. It can contain fallback positions. Really wide open what you put here. But the point is, it's more of the playbook, advice, and commentary. It's not the actual contract language. This is very useful for training, as well as negotiating strategies being relayed to the entire team. One of the handy features is if I want to, I can insert this language into the document. So I can go to the area of the agreement where I would like the comment to be inserted, and then I can go down and click this box here, this button that says Insert as Comment. When I click on that, you'll see it automatically inserts the description playbook language into the document as a Word comment in the margin. So this is a very handy way of inserting language that you use over and over again or frequently. It makes it both useful for information about the issue, but also for adding language as a comment in the document. The other thing I can do, if I want to, what I just showed you is adding all of this language, but it's flexible. Let's say we had 2 or 3 paragraphs of playbook advice and commentary, but I only want to put a certain section or a certain sentence in the as a comment in the document. So what I can do is highlight the part that I want to insert as a comment. Then I go to the Insert as Comment button again, click that, and as you can see, this time it inserted a comment, but it's only the language I highlighted. So it's very flexible in that sense. Another way to use this is making comments in the context of the document, sort of custom comments, if you will. So I can go to another place in the document and I can add a comment in the description box. So let's say I'm working with Kate on this and I want to give Kate a message, and I say, Kate, let's be sure to check this language. So then this will be in the Foley Equipped version. If I send the link to this document to Kate, she'll be able to see this language in there. But also if I want, as noted before, I can highlight that and then click Insert as a Comment, and it pops it in here as a comment in the margin for Word. So that's using the main features of the description box, which again is the playbook, advice, and commentary. Next, I want to show you the suggestions tab. This was description. If we go over here and click on the suggestions tab, this view changes. And now what we're looking at is actual contract language that we've built into the system that is our recommended language for this type of agreement. As you can see, this is basic contract language that is indemnification language. At vendor's expense, vendor agrees to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless, etc. So the way we use this is we can go back over here and I can use the suggested contract language a couple of ways. One, I can see the contract language over here on the left, which is highlighted for infringement indemnification. And then I can compare it to the language that we have in the suggestion box, sort of the Foley preferred language. And then if I want, I can use the Foley language as a model, and I can mark up by hand over here in the document as I would normally. So for example, I might say, well, we don't need this Romanet 3, so I'm going to delete that. Let's turn on track changes. You can edit it as you normally would, and then make the rest of the edits based on reviewing the language, the model language. The other thing I can do though is if, let's say, the language that's proposed by the vendor, we just don't like it all, so we're going to delete it completely. I can highlight the language to be deleted, and then similar to the description playbook language, I can go down here to this button, Insert, click Insert, and as you can see, it deleted the vendor's language and inserted the Foley contract language. So again, another very easy way to make changes to the agreement. The clause bank language is right here in the Foley Equipped system, available through the Word add-in. Also, just like with the playbook advice, if I want, I can insert less than all of the language. So let's say I just want to insert part of the language. I can highlight it and then click Insert. And what I've done now is just highlight a portion of the language. So like I said, very flexible, and also like the playbook language, I could actually add language in the suggestion box and then click Insert to insert it into the document. So when I finish working on the issue, I can go here to the issue status and change it to closed. That's like checking it off my checklist. Then when I'm ready to go continue reviewing the agreement, I can click Next here and go to the next issue. In this case, it sent me to milestones. Or I can close out of this view and I can see my issues list again. And continue to the next issue that I would like to work on. So let's look at one where there was no language that the Foley Equipped found. So if we look, for example, at disputed charges on our issues list, and this says disputed charges not addressed, you can see it says not detected. If there is language that the system found, it would have these links here. You can remember when we were on indemnification, which now is under medium, there was section references. Here, when I click on disputed charges, it doesn't go anywhere in the agreement because there was no disputed charges language in the agreement. But it did change the view here. Again, this is a high issue. That can be changed if you'd like. There's no linked charges, but we see the playbook commentary of the agreement should give the customer the right to dispute invoices in good faith, and that there's no ability to suspend services or charge late interest, etc., if there is a good faith dispute. So what we can do here is go to the section where the comment, let's say I want to insert the playbook language as a comment, I can go to the part of the agreement that deals with pricing and fees, payment of fees and invoices. I can search for it manually. I could do a word search, or using Foley Equipped, I can go here to fees and pricing. So because Foley Equipped did find information about fees, pricing, and payment and invoicing, I can just click on that. It takes me to the right section. So I can go to the place in the document where I want to insert my comment about disputed charges. I can go back to the disputed charges issue, pull it up, click Insert as Comment, and so now I've inserted the comment into the document. Also, I can go to the suggestions box with the contract language and do the same thing. I can insert the contract language. And so now we say customers shall have the right to withhold amounts at disputes in good faith, pending resolution, no late charges, no suspension or delay of services, etc. So that was a quick and easy way to insert our contract language into the document and also a comment about the particular issue. Now that I've finished this issue, mark it closed. It saves automatically. I can go to the next issue and just continue on going issue by issue throughout the entire document. So if we close that view, I want to show you what happens if you need to launch the Thought River Word add-in, and you can see it's very easy. You just click a couple of buttons, then we can get back to our issues list. So, and if we look at our issues list, you can now see disputed charges not addressed. It's grayed out a little bit, and it's also marked as closed, so we know that's been checked off of our checklist. Then if we look for indemnification, you'll recall we changed that to a medium, and that is saved to the system. So if we go down here, we see indemnification addressed. It's on our medium section of the list, and that's been closed as well. So now it says 2 out of 40 have been resolved. So we're making headway in reviewing our agreement. Because I've made some changes to the document, we get this notification here. Document has changed, save a new version. If I click save a new version, it'll rerun the analysis. And that typically you would do when you're finished with making all of your changes to get an updated analysis of the document. So we've looked at the three main features of Foley Equipped: the issues list, the playbook advice and commentary, and the contract language. One other thing I'd like to show you is regarding the issues list, we can go up here and click on View Issues Report. And what happens here is that the system automatically creates a separate issues list. So having a separate issues list can be useful for a couple of reasons and in a couple of contexts. First of all, when you're reviewing the agreement, it's a very nice way to get a separate issues list and a bird's eye view, if you will, a snapshot of where your review of the agreement stands. So we see here we've closed out 2 issues: indemnification and disputed charges. These are the open issues. We can click on the different issues to see information about them. For example, if we wanted to see governing law and venue, the link clause is here. We can click on that and it shows the governing law language. Now we can't revise it here, but it's showing us the language, and if we want to revise it, we just go back to the Word document. On here you can see it's New York law and New York venue. The issues list can be exported, can be copied and exported to Word and Excel format for use using those versions. Those separate formats can be useful. We can sort by column, so if we want to sort by all of the high issues, we click on the column there. If we want to sort the issues alphabetically, we click on the summary column. Now we can thumb through our 40 issues. It actually goes over to 2 pages here. And then we have the description field, which is the playbook advice and commentary. In addition to exporting to Word or Excel, I can also print this just on paper, or I can share the report through the Foley Equipped system. If I want to send it to another user, I can just send very easily send a link to the issues report to other Foley Equipped users. So I can close that when I'm finished using it, get back to our Word document. And now when I'm done working on the agreement, let's say I've finished for now, or I've finished all the issues, I can simply save it and close it like I normally would. I can email it to whoever I'd like. If I email it to someone not on the Foley Equipped system, then they will not be able to see any of the playbook commentary or contract language. And even if someone does have access to Foley Equipped, the access control can be configured to allow access on a contract by contract basis. So only users that have access to this particular contract would be able to see the Foley Equipped content over here in the Foley Equipped panel. So the agreement can be saved and emailed to whoever you need to email it to. And it can also be shared through the Foley Equipped system. So if I'm, for example, making an initial review of this and put in some notes, I can then share this with someone else on the Foley team to finish up the review and revisions to the agreement. And that essentially concludes our demonstration. I hope that has been helpful. And just let me know if you have any questions.